It's day 8 of 10 days with Anne of Cleves, and today we're going to think about what was life like as an ex-wife to Henry VIII, one that was living. What was life like as the king's beloved sister? As I said yesterday, when she was writing to Henry about the matter, she hoped that he would refer to her as his sister, and he responded quite happily to that she was absolutely the king's most beloved, sister. And in her final letter on the matter, she referred to herself not as a queen, but as a daughter of Cleves. And he was so happy that she'd gone along with all this willingly. It was a lot, less faff for him. And in one of his letters, he said he hoped that she would be quiet and merry. When I first saw that, I thought, quiet? Is that him saying that she needs to, keep her mouth shut about the matter? But actually, when I looked into the meaning behind that word in the 16th century, it doesn't exactly, I can't think of the best way to translate it, but it also means, if you say, I hope you will be quiet, it means I hope you'll be kind of free of worry, almost that your mind will be quiet, if that makes sense. So it's not it wasn't him telling her to shut up. It was him saying the hopes that she'll be at peace, but not in a dead way. Now, as the king's living ex-wife, not only did she get to keep her head, but she got a little bit of a payout as well, quite a decent payout actually. So she got given 2 houses, one of which was Richmond, so that she could be kept close to court and they could keep a bit of an eye on her. She's not up to any trouble, or causing any trouble for Henry. She was given £4,000 a year. Pretty decent amount, really, and obviously she's got to run a household with that too. And as the king's kind of adopted sister, she had really the highest status at court beyond who he was currently married to at that time. Now, she was very nervous about writing home. She felt this would be really shameful to her family, and she was right. They were all pretty cross on her behalf, even though she described her treatment as being very favourable. Her mum was very angry. Her sister Sibylla refused to acknowledge this annulment her whole life. She always referred to Anne as being the Queen of England. Her brother-in-law, Sibylla's husband, John Frederick, was outraged and referred to Henry as that crazy man, and William, her brother, just said he regretted ever sending her there. As to why exactly she didn't return home, I'm going to cover that in a slightly later video. I have managed to figure it out now, and it does make sense. But at this point, she's got a nice setup in household. She's very well looked after. They would like her to stay near to court, and for the time being, she's happy to do that. On the 25th of July, Henry marries Catherine Howard. And it's a little bit of a blow to Anne of Cleves, because what happens then is, obviously, that her former maid is now one up on her socially, and it also means that Anne's royal household gets taken away and swapped with a more regular household. Catherine gets the royal women set up instead. But Anne gets this opulent lifestyle, and the price she has to pay for that is just putting a smile on her face and acting like she's so happy and it's wonderful, and she's the king's sister and she wishes him every happiness, blah blah blah. Henry's actual sisters, Mary Tudor died in 1533 and Margaret dies in 1541, so eventually she really is the king's only sister and then most beloved. And it seems like she's having a pretty good time at this point. Richmond is her primary residence. She's got a chapel there. She's got a great hall. She's got a household. She has new dresses all of the time. And, it seems like she was living a pretty good life. She was often invited to court. She famously spent a Christmas there. And Henry would also visit her. Eventually, Anne and Catherine Howard got on really well, and the three actually, spent time dining together. Catherine would give her really wonderful gifts. They all got on so well. There were even rumours going around that Henry actually secretly wanted Anne back. Maybe there was something going on, which he completely denied. She seemed to genuinely be very fond of the king and be working very hard to stay in his good graces. So we're going to leave her there for today. In day 9, we're going to think about the later years of her life. And I'm going to slightly change the timetable a bit because actually we know a lot more about her than I realised. So in the next episode of Anne, we're just going to talk about those later years, what it was like when he then married Catherine Parr, and obviously when Henry passes away, what's life like for her then. Then on day 10, we'll be talking about her death and her legacy. So I'll see you tomorrow when we're going to have some more time at court with Anne. See you then.